Welcome back, Flare community. I hope you're all well and having an incredible day as always. And in this episode, you're in for a real treat. We're joined by Nebuchadnezzar, aka Neb, and he's here to talk to us all about his project, which is coming to Songbird. It's called Spark. So let's jump in. So then, Neb, it's an absolute pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much for taking the time out. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks, John. And thank you for making the time for me. I really appreciate it from your busy schedule. So much appreciated.
Yeah, no problem. So you've created this new project, the Spark project, right? So I guess the best place to start for everyone listening is, could you maybe just give a high-level overview of what this project is, what it's all about, and how it's going to benefit the community?
Sure. So the Spark project is a project built on the Songbird network that helps reward members of the community via tipping. The goal is to unlock more functionality on the Songbird network by providing a solution to seamlessly send and receive tips via Twitter. We tried to make it as simple as possible to tip one another, so that we decided to just go with Twitter API. So the second goal pretty much was to add more value to Songbird tokens, because we've noticed we've got a fair bit of tokens coming to Songbird network. So we thought, what better idea would be to have a TipBot that could utilize all those tokens and all your favorite tokens, I guess, on the Songbird network.
Yeah, that's nice, because you're not basically just giving utility to, Spark token or Songbird token. It's actually going to benefit every other issued asset, right? If people want to tip them.
100%. Like, Spark will be there. Obviously, it is the native currency. However, you're not obligated to utilize Spark for the tipping. So we do encourage, once we launch all the tokens, we do encourage people to tip with whatever their favorite token is, I guess, if they've got a project that they're promoting, or for any reason. We've got Songbird would be the native token to the main native token to be able to tip with as well. But Spark and Songbird would be the first two tokens. However, like I said, it's the possibilities are endless with the particular tokens on our network.
Yeah, definitely. You do actually have this video here that I noticed, and maybe it's beneficial for the community to have a quick look at this. So I'm going to put this on screen now, and then we'll jump straight back in.
To our beloved community, we, the Sparktans, the first warriors of the Flare colony, were sent away by Zeus to defend our ancient homeland in Sparkta. After several months on the battlefield, we successfully restored peace and prosperity. Zeus was thrilled with our achievements and brought us all to see his latest creation. A Twitter tipping platform built on the Songbird network, powered by Spark. Spark's primary utility will be the social currency of the Songbird network, where users effortlessly tip one another just by tweeting. Zeus then granted each of our warriors the ability to create Spark and ordered us to return back to our Flare colony to share it with you in a form of NFT. Each unique NFT will be loaded with a predetermined amount of energy, which will then be converted into Spark so that our community can use it to tip one another. We invite you to join our cause in becoming a Sparktan and help spread this positive energy across our Flare colony. Visit sparkcoin.io to learn more.
Yeah, so that video was actually pretty cool. I'm sure everyone watching will agree, but why don't you talk a little bit about your background? How did you get involved with Songbird, and what really inspired you to build this application?
Well, John, I've been in crypto since 2017. Obviously, XRP was my first way of entering into crypto. And obviously, we came up with that Flare snapshot, I think it was back in 2020. Yep. Unfortunately, I watched a couple of YouTube videos, and there was a couple of conspiracy theorists back then encouraging people not to participate. And I took their advice, and I didn't participate.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's a big blow because I had a fair bit of XRP back then as well. And through that, obviously, came Songbird and that
Yep.
Songbird distribution. And then, obviously, I followed it very closely from Songbird onwards. And I was just monitoring the price. And I think the biggest part for me was the XFi part. I think it was when there was an XFi airdrop coming, and then the
Yeah.
price of Songbird was just tanking. It was just going in a spiral. And at that point is where I entered Songbird. So I had no clue what Songbird was about at that time. I just saw the price just tanking, and I thought, let me just grab it. It's going to recover, obviously, right? And my first entry point, I still remember to this day because it hurt. It was 22 cents. So that was
Yeah.
my first entry point, and I actually aped in. I like, hey, look at the price where it was, right? And it's going to 22 cents. Obviously, it's going to take a bit of a breather. It's going to go back to 50. So it's a quick double my money situation, right? And it didn't. And it kept on going down and down and down. And I just kept on buying the dip and just keep catching the knives, obviously. And that was an experience in itself. And then I thought, man, I'm not going to sell this. Obviously, it's a big loss for me. So I started educating myself, and that's how I stumbled across yourself and just absorbed all your videos, right? And just continued
Nice.
educating myself and learning about the passive income strategy behind it, the FTSOs, and learning a bit more about the team. That it just kept like a vacuum sucking me in, right? And I just became so absorbed with Flair that just learn as much as I could. Then I obviously met with stumbled across Mickey B as well, so I just took all his videos in as well. So that's where my passion started for Songbird, for Flair, was through that XFi situation.
Yep.
And then from there onwards, obviously, I started investing more and more and more into Songbird and just experimenting. And then there was a gentleman by the name of JC Collins, I think he goes by. He was also into Flair a lot back then as well, and very vocal. So he educated me a lot with Flair Finance, it was called back then, delegating SFIN and all that sort of stuff. He had all these tables and all that sort of stuff. So I was educating there. And then obviously from there came Oracle Swap as well. So I had never explored NFTs before in my life. I thought there was just like garbage NFTs, right? Who'd want them? So Oracle Swap was my first entry to NFT space. So that's how I bought my first NFT. So that was super exciting. And then I'd never been involved in any DEXs before. So that was extreme experience, costly experience as well. But it was fun.
Yeah, I mean, you've got fingers in all kinds of pies. You're everywhere I see, and you've obviously risen to fame somewhat on Twitter. You're like a local legend, right?
Oh no, mate, you're the legend.
So how did that passion evolve into inspiring you to build this application?
The real passion came from you. I won't forget this moment, right? Because I was obviously back in the days, whenever you used to post something obviously of value until this day, I would like it and share it, not because of wanting anything, because it was valuable content, right? And then I never knew that there was a tip feature behind sharing your content at that time, because I just thought, it's valuable. So the first time I ever stumbled across you tipping, and I had won because my notification bell went off and I saw Flair community, and I just clicked on it and said, oh, you've won, I think it was 1,000 something CSC. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Let me just work it out. Let me just, see how that goes. And in all honesty, it was a bit complex for me, I'm not sure because I'm not educated or what have you, but it was a little bit complex to claim it at that time. So I tried, and I just forfeited, and I think that would have returned back to you. I'm like, it's just, I don't have an exam wallet or what have you. And it's like, download this and put that there. It's like, okay, don't worry about it. It's, thank you very much for the tip anyway. So I think that's what really attracted me to the concept, but I didn't make anything of it at that time. I just left it behind the scenes. I thought, oh,
Yep.
that's interesting. And then I left it behind, obviously, and I thought, as the days and months started going by, right, I kept on seeing you sending tips out to people, and I just thought about it. I'm like, okay, so FC is always sending tips to people in currencies other than Flare. That's pretty strange, right? I was like, it's, why wouldn't someone just create something that's like on Flare and utilize our own awesome tokens that we've got? Obviously, SGB is a hit. We've got Ribbits and S4 and all that sort of stuff, right? Why aren't we doing that? And then that's where the idea sparked in my mind. And I'm like, I think it was literally a couple of days after the idea sparked in my mind that I reached out to you and I contacted you. I think you were at a party or something, and then you called me back that night. And I'm like, oh, FC, look, I got this awesome idea. Do you want to be part of it? It just, I don't know if you remember back then.
Yeah, no, I remember the message. Yeah, it's crazy though. You're completely right. There is a definite need for it, and the XRP TipBot on Twitter, it's been so successful, and it's just a great way to sort of acknowledge people and give a little something back for those who may find providing good information or whatever the reason may be. So yeah, I'm definitely happy that you're sort of choosing to build this application. It's going to benefit a lot of people and even create a lot of exposure on Twitter as well. People start seeing these tips and they might get intrigued about what Songbird actually is. So yeah, I guess if we look a little bit deeper with the application, I think security is something really important to talk about. So how will it actually work in terms of the user's funds? Are they going to be able to use the application from a wallet which they have the keys to, or are they going to have to deposit into an application wallet, for example? How exactly is that going to work?
Okay, John. So the way we're launching V1, so there's going to be 2 versions and hopefully more versions obviously coming, but V1 will be done through Twitter API. So at that point, it's not required to have your own keys. It'll be all handled in-house through the TipBot. So obviously, what they say, not your keys, but each person will have their own wallet, right? But the keys will be part of the TipBot. So at that point, we do not encourage people to put high value into the TipBot because it's not required, obviously. It's only there for sending tips to one another, and then you can extract the funds. The reason we went with that concept, not to have MetaMask and not to require approval of signatures and not require, obviously, gas fees from the user, is we're going for a seamless experience for the customer, right? We want them to be like the easiest way, fastest way, the most efficient way possible would be that way. So V1 will be through that concept where you won't need to have any MetaMask or any approval of signatures. It will all be done in-house for that specific reason of usability. We just want something super fast. Obviously, our name is Spark. We want it fast as possible, right? But at the same time, we want people not to, put high value into that, into the bot, and just keep it very simple enough to send tips around and withdraw. They can put it into their Bifrost or Decent wallet, not a problem.
Yeah, so I guess it does reduce the barrier to entry. You was talking about the TipBot on the XRP side, and having to download an app and do all of this stuff and verify transactions. So it sort of does make sense, but yeah, you're definitely right. People shouldn't just migrate their full SGB balance in there, because they also won't be able to use that for applications, like DEXs, right? So I guess the takeaway is to just deposit what you want to tip, right? And that's just basically for just general safety. But yeah, we was talking about the different assets that could be tipped. Obviously SGB and Spark, which is the native asset of your application. But you're saying that we can also use this TipBot to tip other tokens as well, right?
100%. That's what we're aiming for. That's what we're building in the background. So we didn't want to make it obviously just Spark centric. That's not, showing community. So the whole point of me building Spark was to bring the community closer together. It's not, we didn't want to capitalize on Spark and just make that the only token. We want to encourage community. And the best way, I think, was to bring all the tokens, all the important tokens, obviously, the ones that have been trusted. Will all be done through application process, obviously. So we'll be vetting the tokens prior to putting them on. And those token projects will require to put a little bit of capital of their particular token as well. But obviously, it's not enough to feel it. It's just a little bit to get started. But definitely we'll need to go through a vetting process as well to put the token. Otherwise, anyone could put tokens on there and it'll be confusing. The names will be confusing. So obviously, we need to vet that process.
Yeah, fair play. And, we were also talking a little bit earlier about the Spark token actually being the native token of this application, right? So do you want to maybe talk about that, maybe the token details, the supply, use cases and whatnot?
Sure. So the token itself it's a 1 billion supply. And we're aiming for a deflationary token. So that's the goal for the token. So every time, obviously, we use it, we're aiming to burn part of the token. But the supply would be 500 million will be distributed through Airdrop for Sparkton NFT holders. And 350 million will be put aside for treasury, advisory, liquidity incentives, and POL. And then 150 million is team wallets. The really important thing that's taking a lot of my time at the moment, I'm focusing on something that's giving peace of mind for our community, because obviously I've got a reputation, obviously, for the community. So we just want to give them a bit of peace of mind. So I'm thinking of strategies how I can give more, trying to put a bit of a cliff on the team wallets. So that way, there's no one can go out there and just grab the wallet, dump it. And then, the community is like, what's going on? What happened? That the big dump just came through. Who was that? And just start blaming people, right? So two things I'm doing is we're trying to put a cliff onto the team wallet. We've also got a DAO as part of the NFT. So any decision that we make in the future, once I've airdropped the token, the NFT holders will be the decision makers of where we steer the Spark ship, which I'm really excited about, because that takes pressure off me, because then they're like, oh, Neb's got favoritism. He's launching on Oracle Swap, or he's launching on Canary. He's got some behind the scene backdoor deal going. So no, everything will be done through DAO. And all I am is just the head chief of Sparktons, and all I'm doing is grab the proposals from all the projects, and I'll propose them to the Sparktons, and they decide what happens there. So I think that's quite exciting for us. But going back to the token itself, the strategy behind the burn mechanism, and that's why I'm encouraging any token to be tipped through Songbird network, is every time you use a token to tip, let's just say, for example, you're tipping with Ribbits, we will charge a fee, a certain small fee, not noticeable, and that fee will be charged in Ribbits. That's the goal. And then what we do then is we use that Ribbit to convert back into Spark to burn the Spark. So that's the burn mechanism that we're applying. Because we just want to continue adding value to Spark. So people are going to be like, look, what's the point of building a token Spark? What's the need for it, right? Well, that's going to be the fuel for the tipping bot. Any token that you tip will be burning the Spark token as we go.
Yeah, interested. And I guess, how can people get hold of this Spark? Like, what's the method of distribution? How can people get hold of it?
So we've got, I believe, on the 22nd of this month, so 22/11, we'll be having our NFT mint launch. So the way the distribution will take place is through the NFTs. So people that purchase the NFTs will have particular points associated with the NFT, and those points, with the decision of the community, obviously, we may be able to convert those points into Spark down the track. Obviously, that is part of the strategy. But we don't encourage people to be like aping into it and buying plenty of tokens. Buying plenty of NFTs for that purpose. So we're trying to make it as whale proof as possible, because the intention for these NFTs are to be distributed evenly across the community, not across 5 or 10 different whales, for example, and just doesn't put the balance out there. So I've got some mechanisms in place to prevent whales from just taking advantage of the project.
Yeah, nice. And do you have any, I guess, like statistics behind the actual NFTs? Like, what is the supply? What's the price?
Certainly, yes, definitely. That has taken me months. So those particular NFTs that you've seen circulating around to have taken me about, I think, 2.5 to 3 months to get perfected. And I hope the community appreciates them. And I thought I'd be building something that's like, unique to the community, like Sparktons. And I've got a bit of aggression behind the style and their look, and a bit of fun as well. So they've got their tongue sticking out, different armor and what have you. So the NFTs are 11,111. So 11111. And there is the actual, I'll just go through the actual point system. So the lowest point score that you will get by minting one of those NFTs is 33,333. That's the lowest. And the highest is this particular one on your screen is 1,111,111. There's only one of those in the collection. So that particular, so all the bonus points will be relating to the Zeus inspired NFTs. So they'll have different traits that will trigger different points. So that particular one that you see in front of you has got that Songbird, which is one out of the whole collection. That will get you the 1 million plus.
Nice.
And then you see the background, you've got that little halo at the back that gets you different points. There's clouds that will get you different points. The hairstyle will get you different points. Everything is point related. So I'll just take you through. So 33,000 is one of them. 55,555 is the next one. 77,777 is the next one. 111,111 is the next one. 222,000, 333,000, 555,000, 777,000. So as you can see, the higher they go, the less they'll become, but they'll be scattered within the mint, which is quite exciting. I just wanted to make it a bit fun for the community. So you won't be able to choose which NFT you mint. So I'm not sure if you remember back in the days where Oracle Swap had their own NFT mint. You couldn't choose which NFT you minted, and each NFT had different points associated. The way that I came up with this idea was it was an inspiration through Oracle Swap, because I put out a poll to see which one was the most exciting NFT launch linked to an airdrop, like with points and all that sort of stuff, and everyone picked Oracle Swap, and I just went with that because it was a popular airdrop / NFT mint.
Yeah, definitely. So you're going to get the Spark tokens based on the rarity of the NFTs, right? So you've got the NFT launch coming up, but when is the airdrop for the Spark tokens? After the launch. So we're obviously going a little bit further into the future here.
100%. So what we're trying to establish is the DEX is quite an important function in the whole airdrop. So at the moment, we're having meetings with all the top DEXs on the Songbird network. And all of them have been very, very supportive, I guess, and trying to help launch the Spark token onto their DEX, which I really, really appreciate. A shout out to all the DEXs that we've got on board. So what the goal is to first launch the DAO after we've done, I think either after or a little bit before the token airdrop, we want to launch the DAO, so that way we can put it to a vote. And I'll bring all the proposals with the top DEXs that we've got on the network, and then from there, the community, the Sparkton NFT holders, will decide which DEX we launch the token on, obviously. So I think that's a very important part to mention, that I have no control over which DEX we choose. We'll go out to a DAO decision, and it's all in the hands of the Sparktons where we take this.
Yeah, nice. I like that as well. I like the fact that the holders get to choose. I guess we can talk about maybe the team, like who's part of the team here.
Sure. So obviously it's myself as the chief Sparkton. And we've got a dev by the name of Shiraz.
Yeah, there he
He's
is.
a super cool guy, and we've actually contracted him, so he's part of our team, but contracted part of our team. I'm hoping to absorb him, if I can convince him. If he likes the project enough, he's going to absorb him part of our team.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the moment, obviously, it's a brand new project, and he's super excited about it. He loves it. He couldn't be with us today. I tried to force him. He's in a totally different time zone to us. I think it's about 3 a.m. his time. So unfortunately, I couldn't get him to jump on board. But I'm hoping to get him to introduce him to everyone through our Discord. He's in the Discord. So if anyone wants to visit and say hi to him, he's a pretty funny guy. Quiet because he's just head down working on the project. But he himself has a team of 4 people. So there's 2 devs. He's the head dev. Plus you've got 2 people in the back work on front end as well. But yeah, I'm very blessed to have him as part of the team. Very nice guy, and yeah, we're very confident in him.
Yeah, nice. So I guess what the thing that most people will be looking forward to, you've got the NFT airdrop, you've got the Spark token airdrop, but when will the actual application launch? Do you have a projection on that? When people will actually physically be able to start tipping on Twitter?
100%. So what we're aiming for is once we get the token stabilized, so that's the first goal, is to airdrop the token, set up farms with whichever DEX we're going to be using, set up the farms, put Spark into a pool, get some liquidity going. And then from there, once we're aiming to test the bot onto Constant first, make sure that everything's bug free. And then from there, we're aiming to it'll be early, I'd say early to mid Q1 of next year. So it's all going to happen pretty fast, but like I said, I don't want to give dates. Obviously Flare is known, we don't want to be pointed fingers on us and say, oh, you said Q1 and beginning of Q1 and this is a scam and what have you. At the end of the day, we're not going to launch something if we're not 100% confident in every single function works safely, securely, seamlessly, right? So I'm not in any rush. I want to get it right. We've got the token launch. People can start trading it, using it, farming, because that's one of my goals, to increase this, farming opportunities as well with the DEXs. But once we see the token stabilize and that the TipBot is working perfectly, we'll launch it. We'll have a launch date for it. And then, that's when all the fun and excitement begins, right? So I am motivated. I'm, super motivated to get it out there as quick as possible, but I don't want to compromise on quality and security. They're the 2 key things for us. We're not going to negotiate on that.
Yeah, so as Hugo said, measure twice, cut once.
100%, 100%.
Tentatively for next year, somewhere around Q1, hopefully.
100%. So like I said, the earlier the better for us. We do want to get it out there because, look, my goal was to drop Spark after Flare, but because of the TDE, it's in January. I put a vote out. Did you want me to launch Spark prior to Flare? Because I didn't want to take, people were going to be like, oh, why did you copy Flare and create Spark? And, we heard all those trolls out there, right? But everyone clearly knows Flare has dropped the name Spark. And that's where I took it because, I love that name. So, I didn't want to complicate things. But now I think the community knows, like, whoever doesn't know that Spark is Spark and Flare is Flare, I think, they're trolling us because it's out there now, right? For some time.
Yeah.
So I'm confident. I did reach out to Hugo out of respect to him. Obviously, I did reach out to him and just, I did dox myself to him and told him about the project, and just so I can feel more comfortable knowing that he knows about it prior to me even preparing it. So that was quite exciting for me just to share my project with him. So I thought I'd share that as well with the community.
Yeah, nice. So it sounds like an absolutely incredible package and whatnot, but I guess for your long-term vision, what is the overall vision? Where do you want to end up? Where do you see this application going to over time?
Awesome. So I'm one of those person that don't like to overpromise, right, and underdeliver. So I just try to keep our roadmap as downplayed and modest as possible, right? Because
Yep.
everyone's going to hold us accountable. Whatever's on there, we're going to be held accountable. But I'm very aggressive in terms of what my vision is for Spark. But it's obviously not listed on the actual roadmap. But my vision for Spark is not only to be a tipping platform, but to be potentially something that we can utilize to crowdfund entrepreneurs that are going to be coming onto, to encourage entrepreneurs to come and build on Songbird and build on Flare, and potentially that's my goal, to become a crowdfunding sort of platform / tipping as well, where we can harness all the entrepreneurs skills and create a sort of a building platform for them, either to build for Spark, obviously to help add more utility, more use cases to Spark. That would be the ideal thing for me, but maybe also to fund them to create more projects for themselves, for Songbird or for Flare. So we could go both ways with that, but that's my ultimate vision, to become a crowdfunding / tipping platform.
Yeah, nice. There's a lot of potential there, and I think it must be very humbling. If you do reach that sort of advanced application where you're sort of, I guess, in a way responsible for helping accelerate the growth of the network and all of these projects that may pop up. So, yeah, that's very interesting. I guess one thing I will say is, obviously you're launching on the Songbird network, but do you have any ambitions to come over to Flare as well?
Personally, I would love to. That's that's already one of my goals. So we'll be launching V2. V2 will be super interesting as well, because we're not stopping in terms of building. Like I said, the community will decide how far I take Spark, obviously by how many NFTs they mint. So if they mint a certain amount of NFTs, that's how much capacity I've got to build, right? With what they're obviously minting for me. But if we go all out and if they mint out on the NFTs, that's showing that major support. I will obviously unlock all functionality, whatever I've got in my power, to build V2 for the TipBot, plus definitely going on to Flare, obviously with a DAO decision, because obviously I'd love to go to Flare, but it's up to the Sparktons to decide where we take it. If they want to take it to Flare, we're going to Flare 100%. That's what our goal is. But V2 definitely will have more functionality. I guess either its own like sort of D app that's connected with hopefully other like wallets, that hopefully wallet will be working with other wallets on the Songbird network. Maybe we can connect it together, but definitely putting it onto Flare is one of my main goals.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I'm absolutely like infused with this application. I really can't wait to start using it. As you know, I do a lot of tipping, so it would be an absolute honor to start tipping some Spark tokens, some SGB, and all that good stuff. But yeah, if people want to find out more about your project, where can they find you?
Definitely. So definitely don't even bother with my name. So like nobody try typing in Nebuchadnezzar. You're not going to find me, because it's got all those like ones and I's and it's very hard to find. So if you're trying to find the project, definitely go to sparkcoin_io. All the info is there. In our header, we've got the Discord, the Sparkton Discord. We've got the website. We've got you'll find Nebuchadnezzar, which is my account. Definitely follow me. You'll have a laugh. I'm the meme king for Flare and Songbird. Definitely don't come to me for financial advice. I'm just a meme troll. So yeah, that's the best way to find me, and I think it's all going to be happening very, very quickly. So it's not one of those projects that you're going to have a lot of time to think about. Like I said, it's going to be snowball effect from literally the moment that you click post on this YouTube video. We've got a lot of things happening over the next 72 hours and over the next week or so. It's all going to start snowballing very, very quickly. It'll just be interesting because it's all in the hands of the community. Like I said, however many they mint, just depends on how far we take Spark. And I'm not a greedy person. I'm not there to say, oh, let's sell out and LFG and all that sort of stuff. Look, I'm humble. Wherever the community decides to take this, I'll humbly build according to what they mint, right? I think one super important part that I wanted to disclose on your show, exclusively on your show, obviously, is the price of the NFT mint. I think it's an important part. So I did put a poll out for people. Is it going to be like between 1 and 2,000 or up to all the way up to 6,000? So I think the 2,000 area took the hit. So, but yeah, the mint will be coming out at 2222 on the 22nd of the 11th. Our goal. So we are going to have a pre-sale where the NFTs will be pre-sold at 2,000 SGB. However, it's only for a limited time, so it's not date driven or time driven. We've put it at a certain amount of NFTs where it will trigger to go back to 2222. So I don't know how long that will take. Would that take the first 5 minutes, or will that take the first 5 days? It all depends. Once it hits that particular NFT number, it'll go switch back to 2222, and we're not going to bring the price down any further. It'll be just locked in at that price. It's not going to go up. It's not going to go down. We're just going to run with it. I think I've got it up for 33 days for the token mint. So if it does get sold out prior, good luck. If it doesn't, we're minting up to 33 days. And then whatever doesn't get minted at that time, I want to burn it, get rid of it. And that allocation for Spark airdrop will move into the treasury account. And then we'd use that as a liquidity incentive for the DEXs or wherever we want to take it from there. We just want to get the project going. We're not going to drag it out. We've got a certain time. We're aggressive with what we're doing. We're excited, and we just want to get it launched.
Yeah, that sounds incredible, and I like the fact that you're going to burn the NFTs as well. So I guess it makes the people that minted, it makes their NFTs rarer, right? I guess in a
100%.
sense.
We just want to reward people that are we want to reward people that are loyal to us, that believe in the project. I mean, we're not I just want to clarify one thing to the whole community. Okay, our name is Sparktons, but we're not the Sparktons. Like, that's not who we are. We are Flare community, right? We are everyone. We are Canary. We're Fat Cats. We're everyone. Anyone you name it on the network, we're them. But our name is the Sparktons. So we just want to bring the whole community together. Bring the energy, spark all the energy across the community, get some excitement going. Everyone's tipping one another, having a bit of fun. Don't take it too seriously. We don't want you to think of it as something to buy up all the NFTs and dump it and pump it and, trade. We're not trying to go for that image. That's not what we're trying to go for. We're trying to create a platform where equal opportunity for everyone. So I thought, anything to deter whales from our community would be really good.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'm wishing you all the success. I'm sure you're going to pull it off. But yeah, Neb, I'm going to have to say thank you very much for joining us today. Obviously taking time out of your days. I know it's very early right there for you guys. But yeah, thanks for coming on and sharing everything about Spark.
I appreciate you, John, and thank you so much for taking time from your busy schedule as well.
Hey, no problem. All right, you take it easy, Neb.
Thank you, bud. Take care.
So there we go, guys. That's the project. I really hope you enjoyed this episode, and please feel free to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And with that being said, enjoy the rest of your day, and until next time, I'm out.
Mission Control, we have liftoff.